I was bobbing to my music. Oh, child, how are we doing? There we go. How are we do? Maybe she will. There we go. Yay! Hey, Star family. How are you? We have so much to talk about. What is going on in the life at the lockup world? I cannot keep up with these people. Hey, Hilda. Thank you so much. Hey, Black Lavender. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting everybody know. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. What's up, Dr. M? Hey, Daphne. Daphne said, hey, everyone. I thought that was Dylan on a bad binge. So that's Doug. Yeah. Black Lavender said, Doug is a monster. He got about 1 million charges against him. It's guys, it's insane. It's insane what he has against. I can't believe it. Like, you think you know a person. You think you know a person. Black Lavender also says that Daonte is living his best life finally. Yeah, he seems very happy. He seems very happy. Don't feel any way about it. She got 2 kids, D. They don't even notify me, and it's my channel. She got 2 kids. He also said, no, Nikki, why you said happening now at 4? Did I miss it? No, I do that on Instagram because they have, what is it? They just take a long time to notify people. So I always do it like a half an hour or like an hour or so earlier so that it can notify everybody, because it just takes too long for them to notify it. If I do it too early, nobody will see it. If I do it too late, people won't see it in time. So that's me trying to trick the Instagram algorithm. Hey, Rashana. Rashana said it usually doesn't notify. Oh, really? I still didn't get a notification. But I know that normally, because I do this for other people when they do their lives, they let me know YouTube normally says set a reminder because Scotty by Nature is going live as such and such. So it lets me know when people are going to do a live. But I don't know. Maybe I just need to turn something on. I have no idea. Oh, thank you. I'm actually putting up something new tomorrow. I was supposed to put it up today, but it's going into another video that I need to have ready to correspond with it. So that they're going to be up neck and neck next to each other this weekend, because I'm also traveling. Pray for me. Thank you. And if you don't know, my second channel is Nikki.Star at Home. It's where I do just a lot of fun home stuff on that channel. It's a good time. Come on over, join us. We have fun over there. But thank you. Thank you so much, Black Lavender, for promoting the channel. Thank you. Hey, Miss GG88. Hey, love like you are. How are you? Hey, Busy Blue. We got a celebrity in the building. Busy said, I know what you're talking about, but you know I stand you. I don't know what you're talking about, but you know I stand you. I stand you too, my love. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this because you're in here. I really do appreciate you, because when I started YouTube in the olden days, you were so supportive. He would like inbox me, give me tips, like encourage me. He would be like, get back on it. I really, really do love you. Thank you so much. You are just such a blessing. Because you didn't know me. Like we had never met in person, and you just did not have to do that. You just reached out. You were so helpful, and you made this journey on YouTube so comfortable for me. And I just want to thank you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Oh, good. At least somebody's getting the reminders. At least somebody's getting the reminders. Dr. M said, you've been live for 5 minutes and my computer literally has had it on as not live. Sorry. Irene said, I love the second channel so much. Feel like I binge watch every time. Please binge, especially for Vlogtober, because I'm just posting a bit more now. I normally post 3 times a week over there, but because it's Vlogtober, I'm challenging myself to vlog every day because I want to prepare for Christmas. Because I've always wanted to do a Vlogmas, because I love me some Vlogmas content, right? And I love watching, like, the people that I subscribe to. I love watching their Vlogmas, and I want to do some fun stuff with that. I love you too, sister. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Star family. Thank you so much. So, fam, this is how it's going to go. I am going to first talk about Doug because it's just a lot. Then we're going to get into Kristianna. Then we're going to get into Daonte. And then we are going to end with the Life After Lockup season finale recap. What do you say about that, guys? Because I just want to leave the recap for last. I feel like that's going to be the longest thing, and we're probably going to talk about that a bit more. So I just want to get the smaller subjects out of the way, and then we can get into it. All right? So let's start off with Doug. Ciao. This is the thing. It's not like we actually know who this man is. This is his current mugshot right now. He's back in prison again for robbing and kidnapping. Like, what? I don't know. I just feel like, for me, if I had the visibility that such a huge reality TV show gave me, I just feel like I would do so many different things with that opportunity. And I'm just so disappointed that he wasted such an opportunity for himself, and he wasted his life for his son. Just sad, just sad. Anyway, let's read up on Doug. All my tears from Sarcasm, because Sarcasm be having it. Sarcasm be having the you don't need to go nowhere else. Go to Sarcasm. So this is from Sarcasm. It says, Love After Lockup, Douglas Howard, torture charge details. They said, as we previously reported, Love After Lockup star Douglas Howard recently picked up 3 additional felony charges after being arrested back in August, including torture, unlawful imprisonment, and assault with a dangerous weapon. We now have exclusive details on the allegations against Doug that resulted in new charges, and they are horrendous. According to the affidavit of probable causes filed for the initial case, and then the same case was refiled a few weeks later. The whole thing started after Doug suspected that the alleged victim had stolen a truck from him. Doug arranged for the man to enter a hotel room where he beats the victim with a metal flashlight and pours hot coffee on him. Douglas and an accomplice then blindfolded the man and drove him around to various locations in multiple counties where they believed the truck might be hidden. In between stops, Doug and his accomplice were allegedly assaulting the victim and burning him with torches. At one point, the man tried to flee while still blindfolded. He was caught and forced back into the vehicle. The man was then driven back to an unknown residence in Kalamazoo, where he was then pushed down a flight of stairs into a basement, wherein he stated that the floor was covered with dog feces, where he was again held against his will for several hours. While being held, Doug and his accomplice allegedly continued to torture the man. The victim says that they poured gasoline on him and threatened to set him on fire. Doug and his accomplice also continuously beat, kicked, punched, and strike the victim, as well as threatened to anally penetrate him with an object. Rape. The other affidavit reveals that the object was a broom handle. Oh my God. The initial affidavit, trigger warning. Because I didn't read this article. Oh my God, trigger warning. The initial affidavit filed in October says that the basement torture session lasted several hours, but the more recent affidavit filed earlier this week described that the victim's captivity and torture as a multi-day event. The more recent documents add that the victim suffered multiple visible and serious injuries from what he endured during this time frame. Eventually, a subject known to the victim assisted him out of the basement and took him home. The victim went on to say that he even left him traumatized. He was in fear for his life the entire time. He was held captive and feared that at any minute the defendants were going to kill him, the officer states. Further, on each 2 occasions, I interviewed the victim regarding this incident. This is the officer. He emotionally broke down, reiterating he was very terrified of these individuals, and explained on one occasion, since the incident, he drove through a yard to prevent Doug from seeing him. Doug looks to be facing 11 felony charges. The other 8 charges have already been bound over the circuit court, which I assume will happen. These 3 charges that are currently still in district court. Doug is still listed as being in custody with his bail at $300,000. Well, baby, I looked up his sentencing. Mr. Doug Howard, he was sentenced. Sentence 1, which was a minimum of 12 years and 8 months. The max was 40 years. He was sentenced for torture. The second offense in sentencing was criminal enterprise conducting. So basically saying that he was the leader of a robbery crew or some, illegal kind of crew. And that was for 8 years. So the first sentence is torture. The second sentence is criminal enterprise conducting. I also, shout out to Black Lavender, have a video of his sentencing. It's about 5 or so minutes, so bear with me. So it's going to seem like a minute, but it's not. It's going to seem like it's longer, but it actually is not, or probably won't, because I was watching this gagged. I could not believe it. So here is his current sentencing. Child, get ready. Are you kidding me? Hold on. StreamYard is making me do something to load the video every freaking time. And I did what you asked me to do. Okay, while I have to fix this video, hold on. While I'm fixing that, I'll talk to you guys for a second. So, Star family thoughts. Bert said, wow. I don't know. I do not know. And mind you, this dude was on parole when he was doing this. On parole. Buddha 1000 said, I'm glad little Doug is nowhere near him. Yeah. He's dangerous. And by the time he gets out of prison, if he acts right within prison, little Doug is going to be a grown man. And I don't know if it's a lost cause, but I hope that he is in the right environment, that he will know that his father is toxic. I feel like he already, as a kid, already knows that something is not quite right with his dad, which is sad, but I hope he just goes nowhere near that boy. Black Lavender said, when Doug went to court over video for the charges, he was acting like it was no big. You guys will see that. The video that I'm about to show is what Black Lavender sent me. You guys will see that he is so nonchalant, even like chuckling when the defense attorney is mentioning what he did to the judge. Like it was nothing. Just very, very, very heartless. I'm awake said little Doug was so wholesome. I hope he never sees this man, his daddy, again. Yeah. And I think it just goes, that credit can be given to toward whoever is raising him. I hope he just, stays far away from Doug and that family. That family is shameless, right? And it's just, they're no shade, but I just don't think they're good for that child. I think that child has a way out, and the way out is far away from that family. Hold on. What do they want me to convert it to? I did MP4. StreamYard. When I figure out another system, baby, you're done. Jelly said, wow, I thought it would be for drugs or something. Me too. I thought it would just be like for a parole violation. Torture, kidnapping, burning this man with a torch, threatening to rape him. What the hell? That's not something that somebody would do. I'm not saying I could understand, but if you're, you can't get a job, you're hungry, you got a kid to take care of, I understand you, stealing some Funyuns from but like this over a truck, that obviously the man did not have, because I don't think he would allow himself to be tortured for 3 days over your raggedy truck. Just insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The whole family seems extremely toxic. Whoever was taking care of him, and I think it was Rachel and somebody else, whoever was taking care of him, I hope that they keep him. I know that Rachel gave the child back, of course, because she's no longer with his father, so I understand that. And listen, good for her. Good for her that she got away from somebody so toxic and crazy. She could have been the torture victim if she stayed with that fool. She could have absolutely been someone who was on the other side of his violence. She could have absolutely been the next. So good for her. I feel bad for that baby though, but good for her. Extremely, extremely twisted. Mock Review said, Rachel is a saint. She saved little Doug from this monster. She did. She did. But unfortunately, she had to save herself. And I absolutely understand that. So good for her.
Also, just so you don't have to do this at the end, was able to discuss with Judge Bridenstine that he wanted to go to prison in light of everything that's happening in the county courts. And the judge is allowing him to do his PSI in Kalamazoo via video and his sentence via video. So if there's anything you can put in his file, Your Honor, to let the jail know that he may be released today and not waiting for Kalamazoo sentence, that's what my client would like me to ask. In other words, don't hold him here. He's ready for DOC.
Okay. I don't know what I can do in that regard before I sentence him. You're asking that he be placed to DOC?
Yes. After you sentenced him, I don't want Van Buren to think he's got to wait till his sentencing date in Kalamazoo. The judge in Kalamazoo is saying, no, let him go to prison.
Okay. So is he, I'm not real clear on that request, but we can revisit it at the end of the plea, end of the sentencing.
Okay.
Are you and your client agreeable with going forward with sentencing today? Understanding basically the modification would be that it, that the minimum not exceed the 12.5 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Howard, is that agreeable with you too?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And you as well, Ms. Siderveen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Council advisory guidelines were scored as a prior record variable level F, an offense variable level 3, an advisory range of 84 to 140 months. Any objection to that scoring, Mr. Sapanos?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Siderveen, any objection to that scoring?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. The court does adopt an advisory range of 84 to 140 months. Mr. Sapanos, have you and your client had the opportunity to receive and review the pre-sentence report? And if so, any additions, corrections, or deletions to it?
Yes, Your Honor. No additions, corrections, or deletions.
Thank you. Mr. Howard, have you had the chance to review your pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you agree with your attorney that it is factually correct with no additions, corrections, or deletions needed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ziderveen, any additions, corrections, or deletions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Sapanos, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client before I impose sentence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Howard, anything that you wish to say?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Ms. Ziderveen, anything?
Thank you, Your Honor. This has been a long history that this defendant has been then proceeding in theft crimes, as well as violent crimes. These offenses took place at his home. He used his Facebook to do these transactions. It's very clear that he was the leader in this operation. And now we have a torture case that's also tied in Kalamazoo to this ring as well, this criminal enterprise ring. As it is my understanding, he was actually torturing one of his people that work with him in this ring. Your Honor, that he is a very dangerous man. He has not done well on parole. It sounds like he absconded 7 months after being released from parole in 2020. He's had multiple violations while incarcerated. Your Honor, the original discussion that we had is the court was not to exceed the middle of the guidelines. We'd asked for the court to sentence him to the 112 months, then to the maximum, as the 112 months is the middle of the guidelines.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Howard, I am balancing punishment, protection, deterrence, and rehabilitation, hoping that when you have served the sentences that you have to serve for this conduct, you can come out and not find yourself sitting in jail clothing being sentenced by judges like me. I will follow the recommendation from the Department of Corrections and sentence you to 96 months to 20 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections. This is consecutive to parole, 0 credit due to parole detainer.
It was a lot more. Basically, that was just the sentencing. So he was sentenced to 12.5 years, 12 years, 8 months in prison. From my understanding, he has to serve that because it would have been 24, but the minimum was 12.5 years, and then he gets the opportunity to go before the parole board again. But I was just watching this, and I'm like, you are so nonchalant about torturing a person. And then I started to think about this show, right? And how WeTV uses their platform to, show us some of the crazy stuff. Like I always say, love after lockup, life after lockup, love during lockup. These are all top tier reality TV shows, in my opinion. But I feel like as a network, you have a responsibility to keep your consumer safe, right? And when you present these, felons or whatever before us, we are not seeing the violent portion of them. We as consumers, we as viewers are only getting the comedic, edited, wackadoodle version that is good for the reality TV show. But I feel like as a network, you have a responsibility. And I think it would be wise for this show to move forward, focusing on couples where the offender is nonviolent. This dog is crazy. We're sitting here listening to his charges and watching him being sentenced, and he's like not fazed at all. And we're all like, what? You know what I mean? Like we watched this dude, we saw some things, but nobody knew that he was off his rocker. And I just feel like it's, in my opinion, it's just a bit irresponsible to know who this person is and put them on your platform and share them in a comedic reality TV trash way to your unsuspecting audience. Because even me, you know what I mean? And I'm with it. I'm street smart with it. I wouldn't mess with a Doug or anything like that. But what if there was some kind of freaking press event and this is your talent that you have at the press event, putting them in front of reviewers or, just bloggers, magazine writers, and you are presenting this very dangerous person to us as talent on your show. That's a little weird for me. And especially, I just saw, I was on Daonte'S Instagram and he had ran into Auntie's advice. And I immediately thought of her. And it's just like, as a reviewer, you kind of create fun little relationships with the people that you review. If they like you or not. Like I am friendly with Daonte. I'm friendly with Queen Kelly. Like we talk time to time and they come in here and they comment or whatever. But it's just like those relationships could easily form. And if there's some meet and greet or something like that, I'm like, you could have put Auntie's advice, could have met freaking Doug, and Lord knows what could happen because she coined up. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like this show has a responsibility, and I feel like moving forward, y'all need to focus on non-violent offenders. Y'all really, really need to do, because Doug had a rap sheet before that. Let me pick up this fool's rap sheet. He had a little violent rap sheet before that. Weapons and firearm discharge. So he shot at somebody in 2016. Another weapons and firearm felony charge in 2015. In 2009, first degree home invasion. Like, and the list just keeps on going on. Like, absolutely not. I just feel like this show has a responsibility, and I need for them to do better. I really, 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 really do. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sly Cat. Sly Cat said, Nikki, you are so right. WeTV only cares about the money. Tracy's end was proof of that. It's disgusting. I agree. Thank you so much, Sly Cat, for the super chat. Excuse me. I'm Awake said they need to stick to people with misdemeanors. This is too much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss T said, glad Rachel got out, but let's pray for his son. Absolutely. No regrets. Like the defense attorney is sitting there talking about how violent you have been to freaking human beings. And you're like, and the judge says, do you have anything to say? Absolutely not. Like, he just, and this is your talent, WeTV, that you are presenting to your audience who, like Daonte'S girlfriend, hops in the DMs of your cast. I just feel like, yes, everybody is adult, but there's just a responsibility that you have to do, because what if they did a press event and just somebody, it could absolutely happen. It could absolutely happen, because with WeTV putting up and saying, this is the talent that I trust to put on my platform to share to millions of viewers, there's a little bit of trust there from the viewer, from the press, because if you're inviting me to your event to meet and interview your talent, there's just, you think that there's some sort of safety there. I don't know. That was really uncomfortable for me. Better Day said he wasn't even fazed. Yep. He did not care. Absolutely disturbing. Absolutely disturbing. I love her. That's my girl. That's my girl. Mock Review said, this is shocking because I always thought that they only picked non-violent convicts. Me too. Me too. Shout out to Black Lavender for giving me this tea. Me too. But this is definitely reckless of the production company. Yeah. Black Lavender said the talent bar was set in hell when they hired Doug to be on the show. You know what? Let's also dial it back to Sarah. Sarah was in prison for murder, right? Involuntary manslaughter, absolutely. But there's no levels. There's no levels. He keeps getting out. And the defense attorney was just like, he's terrible on parole. He still commits violent crimes on parole. Stop letting this man out. You know, listen, and I won't make it a race thing. I'll just observe it as a human being observing a situation. I thought that it was kind for the judge to recommend, after he served his sentence, to say, you have to get some help because something isn't right? She could have been hard on him, and maybe if he looked different, she would have been, we don't know. But I was just like, thank you for, putting that in there, that he got to get some help. He can't just get out of prison and just go back to living. He got to get some help first before he can be acclimated into society. And I think I agreed with that. Sly Cat said, what? See, they'll send people who look like us to prison for 20 years for having weed on them in Texas, but they just keep letting people like Doug out. We also have to think about where he is. Right? Kalamazoo isn't in Texas, right? That's Michigan. It might be a little different there. You know what I mean? If it was Texas, Doug would probably be on death row. Rashana said, I think this show helps rehabilitate some inmates. Absolutely. They give them another opportunity and worsen the conditions of others. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Lisa. Hi. How are you, sis? Leanne says, these women dating violent offenders and putting their relationships on TV blows my mind. Yep. The Undertaker. Yes. Yes. Miss T said, generational curses. His whole family was a hot mess. Yes, that's why I don't want that boy around none of them. No shade, but the whole bloodline is sick. Doug didn't just wake up and become this person. His environment fueled whatever was in the bloodline. Poor guy. Poor guy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's cleanse our palate and move on to something even more depressing. Our girl, Kristianna, is back in prison after she fled. This is from the great source that is Sarcasm. Love After Lockup, Kristianna Roth escaped custody this week. As Love After Lockup fans are well aware, season 4 inmate Kristianna Roth Miller has a history of running off while either a resident of a halfway house or on work release. It seems the Bonnie, half of the show's self-proclaimed Bonnie and Clyde, is back to her old ways. According to Vine, Kristianna officially escaped from custody earlier today. According to the Iowa Department of Corrections, Kristianna parole ended back in April after she was released on an outstanding warrant in March. The 38-year-old is currently listed. What? I'm sorry. It's being on work release with a tentative discharge date of May 12th, 2023. Update late Friday night. Vine updated the status for Kristianna to in custody outside of the state of Iowa. I checked the nearby states, and she is listed as currently being in custody at the Crawford County Jail in Wisconsin. I do not know the charges. The tentative charge date lines up with what Kristianna wrote on a Facebook post last week. Life has been a struggle, but I only have 6 months left on paper. Oh, you only have 6 months left. And I know I will go so far in life. Please pray for me and my mental health. Thanks for all who genuinely care out there. And she also revealed in that post that she was having a rough time. She says, life has its challenges and I have been having a rough time, but still maintaining for the most part by the grace of God, I swear. How I am doing it is beyond me for real, but I just keep striving. Having a difficult time though. Ugh, please keep me in your prayers. I think that she was probably struggling in her addiction because in prison, it's not really, you can't really stay sober. It's very easy to get drugs in there. So I think she was probably struggling in her addiction. And man, she has 6 months left. They'll probably go, she escaped prison, so she's absolutely going to get her sentence extended. Oh, Kristianna, I'm rooting for you, sis. And this was on Sarcasm's Instagram. John Mittle's ex-wife, Kristianna Roth, reportedly escaped from custody earlier today in Iowa. Kristianna shared concerns, including a request to please pray for her mental health. Our good sister escaped prison. She has great eyebrows. I don't know why she does that line thing. She has a great, you know what, Nikki, focus. I'm sorry. I was like, you can just fill in your natural brow. But anyway, just keep our good sis in your prayers. I think she's struggling with her mental health as well as probably her addiction. What do you guys think? This show is a lot. Love After Lockup used to be fun. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's not. It actually makes your addiction worse. Mock Review says, did anybody ever find out what happened between her and John? I didn't like him. It seemed like she was actually doing well with him. What a shame. It does, right? But the cameras only tell one story. The cameras only tell one story because when I was reviewing the season that he was on, I thought that it was very weird that if your wife who struggles with, who has mental health issues and has issues concerning a very serious drug addiction, if she disappears in the middle of the day and doesn't say anything, why is it your first thought to throw her things out and divorce her? There was just like no concern there. And that bothered me. There was no concern for her safety. There was no, oh my goodness, I have no idea what my wife is. Let's gather everybody. Let's go find her. Put down the cameras. We got to find my wife. There wasn't that. He just bagged up her stuff and threw it out and said he's divorcing her, was saying all these negative things about her. So I'm like, what actually happened? Because that's not a normal reaction, in my opinion. That is not a normal reaction to your partner who is unwell disappearing. That was weird to me. That was weird to me. Sly Cat said, yes, that addiction is so difficult for her. I don't know. Kristianna just touched me more than most that I've seen. Yeah, because like the king of Kalamazoo, she has a toxic family environment. The family is toxic, right? And like, who do you run to when the environment that you were in that houses your family is the environment that made you sick? Like, you have nobody. She had nobody. So it's like, you keep on running back to the same place and the same people that made you sick. And I the reason why for me, my heart is going out to her, because I honestly believe that she wants to live a healthy life. I don't think that she wants to live like, I don't think that she's like Doug in a way where she just gets off on this and like doesn't care and is just reckless. Even with Doug, I think there's a lot going on into that. That's not normal for a human being to act that way. So something is absolutely happening. But the people that Christina just hurts herself, right? She doesn't, harm people. She just hurts herself. There's something that she's dealing with. And I honestly think it probably stems from the men that her mother dated or her father, something like that. And that's what it just gives me. With her and her sister, it gives me that something happened as kids. And I feel like it's something either happened with one of mommy's partners or their actual father. That's what I'm getting. And it could be the mom as well. But I'm just, I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but I'm rooting for her. Yes, Miss T. He was just putting stuff in a garbage bag. You're not looking for your wife? You just throwing her stuff out? Something ain't right. Yes, I miss Stan and the fake BBL. I miss Chevelle. I miss all of them. Bring back the fun people. This isn't fun anymore. This isn't fun anymore. I did too. But I think he's not a good guy. I'm telling you, from watching this show, I have learned that the majority of the men who seek out women who are incarcerated, I'm not talking about you, Daonte, the majority of them, not all, but the majority of them are not the good guys that they present on TV. A lot of them are extremely sinister, and we don't see it until the woman does something that they don't like. And it's normally them, getting their own independence or saying no to something. We later find out, after there's been some kind of fight or disagreement, that he was either making her do the stuff that she was doing when she was on drugs to entice him, or he was turned on by that certain kink. And I'm specifically speaking of Branwen and Chaz, because Branwen is just like, that's the prostituting and all of that stuff. He liked it. He liked my call girl stuff. So he's like on camera saying he didn't like that, but that's how he met me. And that's normally how it always is. Like with Stan and Lisa, they were trying to act like they had met each other at a Publix and started a relationship. But Lisa was like, I was prostituting when I met him. And that has been the gist of our relationship. So now he's trying to act like we're a legitimate couple. I come over to his house. He pays me for sex. That is the relationship. But for the cameras, they want to make it seem like they're these old or, poor guys who are unlucky in love, who are taken advantage of by these felonious scammers, when it's really the other way. It's really these sinister guys who are parading as nice guys, but that's not who they are, right? And they're going after women who are either destitute or unwell in some kind of way, or harmed in some kind of way. And they are prostituting them. They are using and abusing them for their, sexual needs or whatever, their sexual desires. And it's just, I feel bad, because I never looked at fake faux Indian Joe Dirt any kind of way. I always side-eyed him because I just did not think that he was actually Native. But when he bagged that woman's stuff instead of hopped in a car to look for her, instead of called her son and said, we got to find your mom, instead of called his kids and said, get off of that night shift at Wendy's, we got to find your stepmom, something was up. Something was up. Something was up. They were so entertaining. The thing that stopped being entertaining, or it stopped being entertaining, was when Quaylon obviously got hooked on drugs. I think that's why we haven't seen them, because Quaylon, towards the end of the last season that Chevelle and Quaylon was on, he was hooked on some kind of drug and he was just out of his mind. Out of his mind. I miss them. I think they're in Africa, specifically Nigeria. That's why we haven't seen them, because Love at the Lockup loved that couple. So I don't know what's going on here. Absolutely, Deborah. We TV should lean back into the goofiness. Funny clips of TV shows go viral all the time on social media. That's what brought us here. This was such a fun wackadoodle show. Now it's just very dark and scary. Very, very dark and scary. Lisa said, oh yeah, they done peeled through the younger women without enough life experience to realize they shady. Now they're taking advantage of women with truly no other options. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always. Always. You know, speaking of Wendy's, I think that I am just going to go old school and go to Wendy's today and get me a baked potato, a baked potato and a chocolate frosty. I feel like that's what I'm feeling like right now. That's what I'm feeling like. You know what, Black Lavender? Probably. Wendy's is fine. Don't worry, Wendy's is fine. But there's a specific Wendy's in Philadelphia, right on the cusp of Philly and Cheltenham. Do not go to that Wendy's after a certain hour. Or the one on Erie Ave too. Just don't do it. Don't do it. All right, let's move on, Star family. The next thing we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into the recap of Life After Lockup. Daonte and his new boo, Cece, also known as Cece Sierra. I was going to say also known as, I was about to give that girl a nickname, and I don't know why I was about to do that, but thank God I caught myself. So, Life After Lockup, Daonte, this is again sarcasm. Anything I talk about from 90 Day, from Life After Lockup, Life After Lockup, all sarcasm, or the Star family. It says Life After Lockup, Daonte and new girlfriend Cece share their photos and videos after the Life After Lockup season finale. And I saw this. I was on Instagram and it just came up, and it was Daonte. And I don't know her cultural background, but I don't know. But I saw her and I was like, is that Nicole? I was like, absolutely not. But we learned that it's his new girlfriend, Cece. So after the season finale that aired on Friday night, show star Daonte Sierra was finally able to confirm that he has a new girlfriend after his split from Lindsay Downs. In addition to formally introducing his social media followers to Cece, Daonte also confirmed the rumors of a pregnancy from earlier this year. He says it's been a long time coming, but it's time to now finally tell some truths. Daonte began an Instagram caption accompanying a gallery of photos of himself with Cece included below. He says, when I was going through it and thought that it wasn't there or meant for me, when I was at my lowest of lows, I had my heart broken for the third time in a row. There was somebody there that came and picked up all of the pieces of my broken heart and has been there through it all and has shown me the love I never thought that I would ever receive. Daonte is quick to point out that his new relationship hasn't been perfect and seems to hint that he might even have been to blame for their issues so far. How long have y'all been together? It hasn't always been easy. We've had our problems, Daonte says. I haven't been on my best behavior as a man by any means, but through it all, she has remained by my side no matter how much. Girl, how? Sierra, If this relationship is a couple months in, ma'am, you should not be going through all this in a relationship. Daonte seems to take a little dig at Lindsay when he reveals that Cece is a mom, but that doesn't mean that she isn't able to make time for Daonte. Ooh, most of all, even though she's a mother, even though she works, even though she's always busy and does everything by herself with no help, This MFer here makes me a priority in her life. And I could have ever asked for, and that's all I could have ever asked for. And I love her with everything in me. And I don't care what the negative things anybody has to say. Daonte concludes by writing, ladies and gentlemen, meet Cece. And there's a gallery of photos. And then he did a live where he says he was in Cincinnati, Ohio on Saturday morning, and Cece could be seen still in the bed in the background as Daonte explained that she wanted to sleep in. He tuned in for another Instagram live a couple of hours later, and this time Cece was dressed and awake. And maybe she's just shy. The live seemed a little weird, Daonte. It was a little uncomfortable. I got to be honest with you. It was a little uncomfortable. It was giving casting couch. In the clip, Daonte reveals that he and Cece met after she slid into his Facebook DMs, and it's always Facebook, ain't it? It's always Facebook. That's where Doug was getting his victims. You got a nice A body. Cece said. Daonte also confirms reports that Cece was pregnant and reports that Cece later lost the baby. Neither he or Cece elaborated any further on that topic. Daonte says that Cece and his mom are close and talk all the time. Unfortunately, Cece and Daonte, best bro Derek, have been butting heads a bit, but that relationship is getting better. Owen Daonte reiterates multiple times that Cece is not a former inmate. So what you gonna do next season? If you're curious why Daonte was in a hotel room in Cincinnati, that is likely because Cece has moved from Miami to Michigan, which is outside of Detroit. It's unknown how the couple plans to overcome their long distance relationship. Will Daonte be packing his bags and heading to Motor City with Cece? Whoop. We will have to wait and see. So are you going to be on the show next season then? If Cece's not an inmate? No shade, right? Because I honestly feel like Daonte, you faked this relationship with Lindsay for the show, right? So if you fake your relationship, get Nicole back. You two had a great dynamic. You guys were great TV, all around great TV. I think you should get her back for the show. I think Cece will understand if she's a fan, right? How long has this relationship been? Because I feel like you guys have experienced a lot. If it's not even if it hasn't even been a year. Because when did you stop filming the show? Who got the timeline? Because this is very weird that you guys have experienced relationship woes with you possibly cheating with fans and getting pregnant. I feel like it's a little too early to be having raw facts. Like you, Cece, you don't really know him like that, and you let him shoot up the club. Start the rapture. What do you guys think? I'm on a wrong planet. It is. That's why I'm telling you, the only time I'm on Facebook is to wish somebody happy birthday or to post on my Nikki'Star TV page. And I'm going to try to get better for that, especially during the holidays. But Facebook is just so scary to me. I feel like, no shade, whenever I'm on Facebook, I'm like on the sex offenders list. It's just weird because the people that you connect to and the stuff that you see people saying, it's something about that. It's like a principality over that app. It's something nefarious over there. I don't feel right when I'm on it. And I'm either on there, wish somebody happy birthday, or I'm on my Nikki'Star TV page, or I'm in my Lee Crusade or my Staub Lovers Facebook group talking about the next collection coming out, especially for the holidays. Mock Review says, sorry, not sorry. Daonte is a simp and a drama queen. I cannot with him. Glad he is in a relationship with someone who's not a felon and actually likes him. Hopefully we don't see him on the show again. Oh. Josie says, sounds like Daonte is cheating. Yeah, it sounded like he admitted that he cheated on her with the fans. Ciao. No shade. I need to know what she checks off on the census. Because I don't know if the box braids, I don't know. Because I see the box braids, then I saw her hair. And I was like, did you just take the box braids out? Because we come in light. We come in light. We come in pale. We come in shades. So I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Miss Sanchez said, love that Mama Deontay approves. I'm happy to see them happy. Listen, if it's the real deal, enjoy your life, buddy. So Steph said, Deontay and Nicole, iconic. Iconic casting. Iconic casting. Yeah. Every episode, I was like, what? I just thought of remember when Deontay and T-Bone almost got into a fight because Deontay forgot? I remember watching that like, oh, Deontay, that's a woman. That's a woman. Hold on. Oh, Lord. That's when the show was good. What the hell is going on now? What is going on? Yes, on the same season that she was dating Deontay. That was some good TV. Oh my goodness. Okay, Buddha said, I saw in Auntie's interview, it was late March or April when they started. Okay, so we're coming up to a year. I still think that's just, y'all just went through too many relationship woes in like a couple months. But you know what? Maybe I'll move differently. I see we are still being messy. Miss GG88 said, wait, there's a Nikki'Star TV page. Where have I been? I have not been active on there because Facebook makes me so uncomfortable. So I will say that I'm doing some things differently over there because I have a friend who is active on there and just started to get active, and they're showing me how to really work that, like just that side of Facebook in a way to really benefit you and to really staying in contact and like, you know, constant connection with your subscribers and followers. So I'm working on that, but I just, like elections and everything, when it's time to vote, I get off of Facebook. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Oh, she's white. Okay, so let's go in on the box braids. Deontay, you know better. Like, what the hell? Like, nobody cares if you got a white woman. We realize that's where you gonna end up, right? A white woman with box braids. Let's be real. Let that be the last natural hairstyle we see her with. Come on. Dr. M says, someone slid into my DMs on Facebook and started preaching to me and telling me I need Jesus. I was shocked. The only thing we have in common is our uni. I don't know her from Adam. Listen, I started backing off on Facebook when I started to become friends with my family. And let me just say, I saw my uncle in a way I never thought I would. I know he's a man, you know, men have desires. But the stuff my uncle was liking and attending, I was like, what the? I remember I almost blocked him because he had liked a page that was, the title was Horny, Wet, Blasian Lesbians. And I was like, who the hell is this? And I was like, that's my uncle. I hate Facebook. Ever since then, and that was like in 2017, ever since then, I've just been like, every time I see him, I just think of that. So don't be friends with your family on Facebook. Don't be friends with your family on Facebook. And it was so specific. You know, I'm done. No, I'm actually about to get into the finale right now. Just want to talk to you guys for a second after the Deontay thing. Alex B said Machine Gun Kelly Justin Bieber look alike. Ooh! Buddha said she says she's white but doesn't know her pop's ethnicity. Okay. Oh, it was so good. Everybody was like, Deontay, hold on. And Nicole just kept kept on crying. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it was insane. Last thing before we get into the finale, do you remember, like, it was like 3 or 4 episodes back to back where Nicole was like, oh, I've been gone because I got COVID again? I remember watching that season. Like, you need to be studied by the CDC. You have contacted COVID like 7 times, and it's been within days of getting COVID free. You keep on catching COVID and you're still alive. You need to be studied by the CDC, because how in the hell are you still okay? Oh, that was such a good season. We didn't know that was the last of the goodness for us. We didn't know that was it. Oh my, that was such a good season. Oh my goodness. And poor T-Bone, we was like, you cannot fight him, girl. Sit down. Sit down. All the time. And it's always the men. I'm like, I knew that men were like always horny. I didn't know it was like that. I'm like, we can see your likes. I used to just put up Facebook posts like, hey, just a reminder, we can see what you like. It comes up in your friend's news feed. But it just didn't stop them. I just was finding out so much stuff about the men in my life. And I was like, oh, Lord, I don't need to know this stuff. And she's still with us. She's still with us. Wow. No. Micheline, I think she was telling the truth. Because every time we saw her, she was 20 pounds lighter. 20 pounds, but she still was tanned, and she had on that green eyeshadow. She was like, I know I got COVID again. That's why it disappeared. I was like, again? Oh, that was a good season. Oh, that was a good season. Man, we had it good. She was attending every festival, every outside food event. Nicole was like, COVID who? COVID who? She said, I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to miss my best life. Anyway, let's get into the season finale of Life After Lockup. Like I said, Lindsay and Daonte never believed them. Never, ever believed this couple. It was fake to me from the beginning. It was fake. It was forced. It was put on. This relationship was put together by the show. They wanted to have their reality star dream team, and they thought that this was it, but their chemistry was horrible. They had terrible chemistry. Why? Because nobody believed them. Nobody believed them. And it was terrible. The storyline was a waste of our time. It was a waste of 2 very talented and chaotic people. I just never believed it, especially this breakup when, they're leaving each other for the last time. And Lindsay is like, find happiness in yourself. And I'm sure that you will find happiness with someone else. What in the ghetto Hallmark is going on here? Absolutely not. I was like, please. I don't want to see you 2 again unless it's the real deal. Unless it's the real deal, or unless you're with your respected party that you have good acting chemistry with, because you 2 together did not work. Since we're here, did Lindsay's new man, did he have front teeth? I was just like, the way he talks, okay, yes, he's from the deep South, so of course he has that strong accent, but I feel like something else was happening there. And I think I remember on one of Daonte'S lives, he was talking about you'd rather kiss a guy that has a rotten mouth and no front teeth. And I was like, is that why he talks like that? Let me know. Let me know. Lindsay crying or trying to cry about how the system stopped her from being a mother. I want to live with this much delusion. I feel like I would enjoy life so much more if I had the delusion of Lindsay. I'm like, wait a minute. The court, the prison system, the judicial system altogether is unfair to a lot of people. They don't look like you, mama. They don't look like you. That's why you keep on getting out of prison. And the reason why you were not able to be there for your daughter's, the majority of your daughter's life is because of you. You think the courts, do you think the prison system want to keep you incarcerated? They probably let you go several times before they were like, Lindsay, you have $1.2 million worth of heroin in your car. We got to take you in this time. Like, girl, bye. You took yourself away from your daughter. Not the prison system. Not, like, I will take anybody else talking about how unfair the prison system is to women. It won't be Lindsay. It won't be Lindsay. You literally sold poison to your community and probably from your cells are responsible for a third of the deaths in your small, impoverished town. But the court took you away from your child. The prison system that's so unfair to skinny, young, white women. Girl, bye. Love the delusion, though. Love the delusion. Daonte'S mom. So basically at the end of this couple's storyline, Daonte'S mom was like, listen, I know what my son wants, so I'm gonna bring him something that, you know, something that is within the avenues that he likes, but it's sane and it's not a felon. So she brought him, you know, probably a little how about that kind of white woman who has a nice job, probably works at a call center, but you know, at least she's not a felon. Daonte wasn't interested. Daonte wasn't interested. He said, I like my white women impoverished. Anyway, let's move on to Taylor and Chance. I pray that this is the last time I see these two. I'm no longer angry anymore, right? I no longer have any feeling towards this couple. I just don't want to see them ever again. Just don't want to see them ever again. So Chance is having a gender reveal for a child that he still is not sure that's his. This is how, for me, this confirmed that he does not like this woman. He does not love this woman. What he loves to do is torture her. Because if you're still waiting for the paternity test, why are you having a gender reveal with all of your family? Why would you do that? If you're still questioning the paternity of this child, you like to torture and humiliate Taylor. And at this point, if she can't see it, not my problem. Not my problem. Or maybe she has a torture kink. Maybe they both have torture kinks. I don't know, but I'm over it. So anyway, he finds out that, you know, he is the father of his child. I think he knew. I think he was faking those tears. And Taylor's like, see, I told you you're the father. Don't do that to me ever again. It's something going on. Because I don't want to be, not coming forward, but I don't want to, you know, dismiss this woman if she has the mind of a 12-year-old. Because, and I'm not saying this in any way to be funny. Watching her, something is going on. Because she just doesn't communicate like an adult. Like when she was talking to Bobby and telling her that she was pregnant, it was like she was a child, right? Like she does say certain things that an adult would say, but the way she acts is like a preteen. When she was telling Bobby that she was pregnant, she was feeling with her hands and she was looking down and she was like, yeah, well, I wanted to tell you and then I'm pregnant. And she's not like, she's literally 12 months pregnant. Like, of course, Bobby knew that. I don't know. I think something up. I think that something is up. And girl, I would keep you in my prayers. But I feel like something is happening there. Bobby, you don't owe your father or that raggedy family any kind of explanation. It will be better for you if you don't tell none of them people, including Chance, where you're going. Where you're going, because telling Taylor is telling a whole damn family where you're going to be at. And that family is the reason why you struggle with the addiction that you struggle with now, because that father is responsible. I'm telling you, something up with that dad. Because when Bobby decided to talk to him, she went up to her father. He ain't go up to her. He ain't go up to his daughter that almost died from an overdose. She had to go to him. He didn't go to her. She went to him to talk to him and basically like apologize for almost dying. Girl, terrible, terrible, terrible parent, terrible parent. And then she tries to talk to him and tell him like the struggle that she was having. And a lot of it comes from her childhood. And he's like, oh, well, me and your mom did the best we could. Shut up. I cannot stand when parents do that, right? When your child is letting you know that the reason why they are the way they are is because something that happened in their childhood, instead of listening, right? Because your child is now an adult. They know you can't go back and fix that, but you need to know that what you did or didn't do is a result of why they have this flaw. But for some reason, so many parents, like pride, the parental pride sets in, and it's like, oh, well, I did everything that I could, and that was a long time ago, and they just do not deal or want to hear out the child, I guess because they don't want to take responsibility or feel any shame. But it's so upsetting. I feel so bad for Bobby. I'm rooting for her. Out of everybody in that family, I'm rooting for Bobby. And I think the only way she's going to win is if she disconnects from that toxic bloodline. Child, this show is a lot. This show is a lot. Kevin and Tiffany, you know what? Kevin and Tiffany are another couple that I never want to see again. The storyline was dry from day one. After he punched out that guy who gave Tiffany the Texas waffle, they haven't been interesting ever since. It seems like they only work well together as a trio. So we need it. What's his name? Curtis. We need Curtis back if these two are ever going to work. They cannot work without him. They cannot work without him. And now Kevin and Kayla are going to make it work because Tiffany wants nothing to do with him ever again. And we later find out that the reason why Kevin is punishing Kayla is because Kayla cheated on him and he was making it seem like he was a really good guy and she just did him dirty. So now Kayla turned him in to this kind of F boy. And I'm like, I don't care. Y'all in your 30s. What the hell are you doing? Kayla did this to me. That's why I'm the way that I am. You are 30 years old you are in your 30s with a teenager. You are good and grown with a teenage son. Excuse me. Get it together. Get it together. Let's move on to Deadbeat in The Undertaker. I don't want to see them ever again without Destiny full time because Destiny was the only interesting thing about this couple, and we only saw her on FaceTime. Destiny is good TV. She is fun, delusional, chaotic, right? Takes no accountability and does not stop. Pregnant, on her way to the hospital, giving birth while nursing her child, still asking this man for money every step of the way of her pregnancy. She was like, you owe me. Where's my money? And the only reason why she did not crash that wedding is because she was having contractions. If Destiny is not a part of this couple, I don't want to see it. If they're not a trio, keep them gone. Keep them going, because I do not want another season of Sean's kids, especially his daughter, crying about how he's a terrible dad. I'm done. I'm done. We can move on. Let's move on to Branwen and Chaz. So in this episode, Chaz is talking to Branwen's friend who blocks out her face. Girl, like I feel like if we put two and two together, we can find out who it is, especially if Branwen is watching. She knows that it was you. So she was the one that tipped off Chaz, and she's just like, I thought that you should know because she's running with the same people and you don't need to be hurt. Are you trying to get with him? Are you trying to get Branwen's coins? Like, are you trying to scam him? Because why are you coming at the way another woman makes money? I hate another heifer that's coming at some woman's coins. Like, what are you doing? Let her scam this man in peace. Why do you have to jump in and protect the man? You can't be trusted. You can't, especially a creep. You protecting a creep over your good Judy? Okay, you a problem. You a problem too. I wish the best for Branwen. I think that she got great genes. I don't know if they can continue to fight the heroin. And I'm being dead serious. I don't think she has much longer before the heroin eats away at her beautiful genes, right? Because we've talked about it before. Branwen is a Caucasian woman in her 40s who has been incarcerated in prison for more than a decade, and she goes back and forth, and she has been strung out on heroin for almost 20 years, and look at her. Mama, that's some good genes. And I keep on telling you to take off that ratty ponytail, get away from Dorinda Clark Huger, go live somewhere where don't nobody know you. Take your baby and go live somewhere sober, clean, healthy, maybe do a little hosting gigs at different clubs or whatever, and make some money off of that love after lockup, right? But what you need to do is get on freaking YouTube or TikTok. Instagram, that's not your move right now. Maybe when you get 1 million, you can go to Instagram. But right now, girl, stay off them streets. The soccer moms will eat you alive. But that is where you need to be doing, skincare routines. What the hell are you doing? You could be making so much money. So much money. And you won't have to bust it open for a creep. You could change your life, but you are in a sick environment. And I knew that she was back on them drugs. It wasn't just the ratty synthetic ponytail. It was the fact that Yola, do I still have that weirdo's picture? No shade, Yola. I'm sorry, but the prison tattoos are scary. I think I deleted his picture for my safety. But when she not only decided that he was an option again, and was excited to see him. I told you I did a jump scare when he walked into her apartment, because I would have never thought that this would have been the guy, right? I did a literal jump scare, and watching this, somebody who's not on drugs was terrified. What did Branwen do? Yeah. I was like, are we getting moist over him? Back on them drugs. It was then certified for me that mama is still on them drugs when she was sitting with Yola and he took a bite out of that donut with them rotten teeth. And she took a bite right after. I said, you ate after him? She on them drugs. They both back in prison. Well, she just got out, but Yola back in prison. You stay on Sarcasm long enough, you can find out everything. But I just want you to girl, you got, I feel like you got a small window to get it right. I hope you get it right. I really do. I really, really do. Chaz's last words to the viewers: don't marry a prostitute. But ain't that how you met her? You're not the good guy here. Let's talk about Brittany and Marcelino. Never believed it. I was not shocked at the end of their story that the wrap up was they're both in Florida living their best lives and working on their marriage. There was nothing wrong with their marriage in the beginning. There was nothing wrong in the beginning of the season. It was a fake storyline. Brittany has still yet to cry. It took Brittany all year to produce one tear. The whole season. She finally got a tear on the season finale. I will say, ma'am, if I was you, I would send a demo reel of your breakdown scenes this season to Tyler Perry Productions. Here's why. They're always looking for a ratchet white woman. And I feel like you would soar over there, because there's one scene where she's in her room, their marital room, and she's crying and ripping down pictures, and she's just like, how could he do this? Wait, let me get their picture up. Let me get their picture up. Hold on. How could he do this? And she's beating on a wall, ripping down the pictures, breaking the glass. It gave me, was it Why Did I Get Married? Remember the scene with Janet Jackson? It was whatever movie where she told her husband, oh, so you doing the bending. I think that's what it was. So you doing the bending? I think it was that movie. But there was a scene where she was like breaking stuff. It's iconic. Everybody recreates that scene. But that's what that reminded me of, with a dash of Waiting to Exhale. I would cut that scene up and that whole, all of your breakdowns throughout the season, and I would send it to Tyler Perry Productions. I'm being dead serious. I would send that to them. And I would also show them your social media following. I gave you that one for free. But yeah, I don't believe any of this. The only thing that I believed about this storyline was that Marcelino's Finsta name was Meek Mill 45. Not Meek Mill 45. Oh, Lord, I'm telling you, what the hip hop generation getting older is the most hysterical thing. It is the most hysterical thing, because back in the day, a 45-year-old man, if Instagram was around or email was around, would not have a handle like that. But if you birthed out of hip hop, Meek Mill 45 makes sense. Child, I said, oh, of course your Finsta is Meek Mill 45. Yeah, so again, I never thought that they broke up. I thought that this storyline was very good for the both of them, because they're moving to Florida, because their family is down there, and it's just a lot cheaper and easier and more affordable, and probably a better environment, not politically, but a better environment for the family concerning, you know what? Is it better for them in Florida? I heard that it was a lot cheaper, so, you know, good for them. Glad their marriage is still intact. If they do come back, I don't want the cheating storyline. They got to give us something else that does not revolve around Marcelino gambling, Marcelino cheating, or her toxic family. Y'all got to come with something else. If y'all don't have anything else, then maybe it's time to just retire from doing this kind of reality TV. Let's move on to Brittany and Ray. What in the hell was the timeline? I'm so confused. When we were introduced to them this season, Brittany was still trying to figure out if Ray would propose to her. Then in later episodes, he proposed, and how I remember that is she was wearing them Robin Hood boots. Robin Hood knee-high boots from 2002. She was wearing those when he proposed, and then like 2 episodes later, they were having bachelor and bachelorette parties. Then she was looking at wedding dresses, and she found the dress. Then Ray got her father's approval. Then the families finally all met and was together in the same room. And now we're at their wedding. What is the timeline here? Because I feel like everybody else, we've only been watching them for like 6 weeks. But for Brittany and Ray, is it 2 years? Like, the timeline is very confusing for this couple. If you know, please let me know in the comment section. But congrats to Brittany and Ray. You guys know that I really like this couple. I think they're the real deal. I'm happy for them. I think that Ray is a life after lockup success story. What we like to see on this show. They were a little boring. I just think it's because Brittany was probably in like wedding mode. She couldn't really focus on faking storylines for the season. If they do come back, I just need them to be a little bit more interesting. I don't need it to be a storyline around felonious things or scamming or, marriage problems. It could be about something else. But I feel like you guys have ran your course with those storylines. But I wouldn't mind seeing them. I like them. I think they're a success story. So yeah. Let's move on to the saddest. I saved this for last because baby, we got to get into it. Puppy and Amber. The only time I ever cried watching Live at the Lockup was the episode that they dedicated to Tracy. That messed me up. That messed me up because we got to be real here. Tracy built Love and Life After Lockup. Her and Clint were just such a chaotic mess. It was a good time. So that messed me up. But Amber had me in fetal position. I just felt so bad for her. So first, let's start off with how I was flabbergasted that we went from Amber telling TC that she was pregnant to we're in the car with her driving to North Carolina to get an abortion. I was like, what? Hold on. What happened? Because I did not think it, because remember my last live, we were talking about how she had big boobs and we thought that it's because she was nursing. We thought that we were going to see a baby, right? And Amber, I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth or anything like that. How dare I, right? I would never say anything like that. I will say, was there more said when we watched you sit down with your doctor, right? Because I felt like what I got from him was not the life-threatening story that Amber was telling to us, the viewers, and her family. So I don't know if maybe there was more to that and it was edited out. That absolutely could have happened, because I just don't think that she would make a situation like, I don't think that we watched. It wasn't an easy decision for her to make, but I will say I was a little confused by how Amber elaborated that information or gave that information that was given to her doctor from what we saw back to her family and in her confessionals. Cause I was just like, he never, I didn't hear him say that. You said that, but I didn't hear him say that. He kept on saying, well, probably, may, but it wasn't like, yes. He didn't give her a definite. And again, her body, her choice. She can do whatever she wants. But what she was relaying back to her family, I was just like, I don't remember hearing that, Amber. And it just got increasingly dangerous as she talked to different people. Again, we probably missed a lot of what was said that made her come to that conclusion. But I will say, I kind of felt misled if there was more there, because from what I got from the conversation with her doctor, I didn't think that was like what she relayed. I didn't hear a lot of that, but her body, her choice. So anyway, we see her and we see her and her friend who was a star of the show. Do I have her picture? I don't think I have her picture, but she was hilarious. Amber's friend was absolutely hilarious when when Amber called TC and she was cussing him out on the phone. Her friend was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, this is not funny, but you're watching her because she's just naturally funny, and you're just like, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Because Amber calls TC while she's on her way to get an abortion because he couldn't come because he couldn't get off work. I don't like him for you. I mean, I know you're happy, you live your best life, but I just feel like you want him more than he wants you. I really, really do. But anyway, he couldn't get off work. So she calls him and he answers the phone and he burps. He's like, I just had a muffin. And she's like, that's not okay. Like I'm literally going to get an abortion and you're acting so chill. Like this doesn't affect you too. And I thought that she had righteous anger and she had the right target. She had the right target. I will also say that Amber was saying a lot in her confessional, and I kind of felt like she was protecting him, but she was saying he's really broken up about it. And I felt like she kept on saying it to us because we never saw him be broken up about her having an abortion. her aborting their child, right? And not because they didn't want the child, but because it was for her, in her understanding, life and death situation. But I felt like she was saying that to us to protect TC from public opinion, because for me personally, I didn't see him look as if he cared about her or her going to get an abortion or the child that she said that she was pregnant with that was his, because his reaction was to roll his eyes, lean his head back and go, ugh. So I just didn't feel like, I felt like for him this was the best situation, because I didn't see him. I'm sorry, Amber, I'm just trying to be as kind as I can. I just don't think from what I saw that he was as into you as you are into him. And I did not see him caring as much about the situation. So when you cussed him out, I felt like it was well deserved, right? So anyway, she goes there, and there's, of course, in front of every abortion center or any women's healthcare center, there is people there, religious people there, protesting. And she was in her confessional, she just broke down. She was just like, I wish they knew that this was not an easy decision, because we saw Amber in a vulnerable place that we had never seen her before. She could not stop crying. Even in her confessional, she was just like, I got to stop talking about this. I have to, because I keep on crying and I don't want to cry about this anymore, because the decision was made. Like, this woman went from thinking she couldn't have kids to finding out that she's pregnant with somebody that she loves, to then later coming to her own understanding that if she has this child, it could be life-threatening for her. And then we watch her go through this process. And baby, when she met Puppy and they hugged each other and she just broke down, and Puppy was like, why didn't you call me? She was like, we were in a good place. And I was like, I was a mess. That was Tracy and this. The only time I've ever cried on that show, I was a wreck, because that was real. We watched Amber. I could not believe that I was watching this on Life After Lockup. I could not believe that I was watching that. And I was just like, props to Amber for really taking us through that journey, because she did not have to. She did not have to. She even wrote a post on her Instagram. It's right here. She said, despite spending 7 years in prison, the story I share with you on this episode of Life After Lockup was the hardest thing I have ever been through. Earlier this year, I was beyond thrilled to discover that TC and I were expecting. As I began to seek medical care, it became apparent that my existing health conditions were going to make carrying a baby to full term impossible, and this pregnancy most likely fatal for me. What we captured for the show was a small part of many specialist ultrasounds and appointments I attended before documenting my final decision and the events that followed. Adding to this stressful situation, the laws in Georgia changed the day after my decision was made for me. I decided to share my story during this incredibly difficult time. As I know, I am not alone in my experience. Thank you all for your support and kind words. It meant so much to me in this time of grieving. Amber, oh, girl. Just heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. Amber, I wish you well. I wish you love. I wish you love. And if you're happy with TC, amen. We're happy for you, girl. I can't say nothing else after that. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Black Lavender said, crazy teeth destiny. Oh my God, committed to getting the money from deadbeat, no matter what, by hook or by crook. Exo Miss Sanchez said, I was here for Chaz's Yelp review, giving her 2 stars. LOL, the pettiness. I think he said something, I overpaid or something. I was like, yikes. Wendy said that man is a geriatric millennial. He is in control of what he does, not anybody else. Busola said, I heard on a podcast hosted by Just Call Me Juan, her friend Chris, that Kayla and Kevin will be on a new reality TV show. Yup. She posted on her Instagram that she submitted an application for another reality TV show about toxic couples, and the producer reached out to her. I saw that and I was like, I don't think that's smart to do. I don't think that's smart to do. I don't know. I just know the production doesn't like stuff like that because the show hasn't even been announced. That, they're still getting the casting together. If she does get on the show, I'm pretty sure they're going to have her under a nice little contract because Kayla's just too eager to be a reality TV star. Sometimes that does not work in your favor. Oh, it did? Oh. I'm trying. Buddha 1000 said, I thought she looked thick, but when the Prager situation came up, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Well, all the baby doll tops that she was wearing. Girl, we saw that baby. Wendy said, LMAO, that Taylor. Oh, I got that one. Josie said, yeah, Taylor seems like she doesn't have all her faculties. Ciao. She does speak in baby talk. That's why I'm just like, she gets on my nerves. But if we're dealing with somebody who is delayed in some sort of way, I need to have that information. Not because it's my business, but because it will make my reviewing of her situation, it will give me a little bit more compassion. Because I'm telling you, after that, the youngest had to cuss Chance out and say, stop attacking my mother. And Taylor just sat there and hid behind a wall while her kids were defending her. I was like, okay, girl, you lost me. This grown man is arguing back and forth with your 5-year-old because she's protecting you. Baby's whole childhood gone because she got to be common sense for her mother at 5. Absolutely. I'm so sorry that I missed that. Let's talk about that, Black Lavender. Black Lavender said, Chance getting all these loans and spending all this money, it's just a matter of time before he goes back to a life of crime. I feel like he's already in a life of crime right now because no, something is up. This man is getting far too many loans. Something is up. I feel like he's falsifying documents. That's what I feel like, because I was just flabbergasted. And then I was just like, every episode, you got a new loan. Something up. Something is up. Mock Review said, thank you for holding her accountable. Some of the melanin deficient viewers were giving her a pass. Who? Oh, Taylor. Yeah, I tried. She lost me when that 5-year-old had to defend her, and she did nothing. She did nothing. Oh, he's missing teeth. Oh, Deontay, that wasn't nice. Oh, Lord. And Lindsay was just tonguing him down. Remember what I told you? You can never humble a man. You will never be able to humble a man. This man had no front teeth, and this woman is tonguing him down on national TV. Child. Yes. I feel like that's all of Bobby's life. All of Bobby's life. I'm glad she got away from that family so she can finally live her life. And she's doing so well. I was so happy when we saw that update about Bobby. So happy. I didn't want to talk about that because we're either talking about Destiny or Amber or both. I knew that Amber, we were already, hip to the fact that Amber was making her decision to not have this child. The vaping on the way to, I was just like, I get it, but I'm like, put the vape down. I was like, girl, but I understand her needing a vape, but I'm like, I don't know. I was like, Can we not vape right now? This was a lot. This was a lot. This episode was a lot. I'm telling you, a lot happened. We were on the emotional roller coaster. This episode was a lot. Whoo, child. Buddha said the streets got a hold of Brandon quick because she was looking different in that divorce paper. She was. Poor thing. Poor thing. Rashana, thank you so much for the super chat. Rashana said, Nikki, I want to DM you a pic of her without makeup. Oh, who? Brandon? I'm on an emotional roller. Okay. How long ago was this? Was this when she was in the throes of heroin, or is this recent? Damn it, girl. You have an opportunity. Inbox me, Brandon. We are going to get you some good coin. Thank you for the super chat, sis. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy said, shout out to the Nikki'Star replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Thank you, Star fam. Is there a Wendy's in my hood? Because I'm thinking of Wendy's in Atlanta. Are there Wendy's in LA? Ciao. I'm sorry, I just thought about my baked potato. I know it's potato. I'm from Philly. Potato. I don't think he threw it because we saw Chaz go like this and like this. That was a sound effect of the ring hitting the water. I think he still got it. I think he still got it. Miss GG88 said Brittany and Marcelino was a whole storyline. None of us believed it. And I'm telling you, it was my Star family who believed everything. They did not believe Marcelino. There were some people who were just like, oh, this is a storyline. I'm like, you are saying this is fake? Okay. Their acting must have been that horrible. Nobody believed it. Nobody believed it. Yeah, if I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. She better chop that scene up and send it to Tyler. She better chop that scene up and send it to Tyler. Exo Miss Sanchez said Brittany and Marcelino could have just told us this. It's a whole season just for Marcelino to get out of the car. I will say, when he sat down next to her and he was just like, so I can't apologize. I can't say sorry. And Brittany's like, it's too late. I'm like, after all of this is all you have to say? Oh, man. Hey, Daphne. Daphne said they can get with Libby and Andre. Oh, what's going on with them? What's going on with them? Dead. I was like, of course. Of course, that's his Finsta name. Of course. Rashana also said, controversial opinion. Amber wanted that termination and got everyone else to play along. I think she played up the health risk part. She knew that she was pregnant before she took those 4 tests that day. You think so? But why wouldn't she want to have a child with TC unless TC didn't want to have a child? You know what? Poor thing. Oh God, she's dealing with so much regret right now. Oh, Amber. Not to judge a book by its cover, but I was like, TC, you okay with Amber getting an abortion? You know what I mean? I was like, because you look like, we got to be real, you look like you was at the Capitol. And maybe that's why Amber kept on saying that he's broken up about it to save his image. Oh, Amber, the way women get lost in men, I hate that for us. I hate that for us. I hate that for us. Down to Mars Girl said she sat down with the OB. She may have talked to a specialist. Her liver, concerning her liver, that confirmed the pregnancy could be deadly. I was totally healthy when I had my daughter, and my liver almost failed on me. Ciao. Because that was her main concern. She did say that her liver's in a healthier place. So I don't know if that means that she's ready to try it again. with TC, he don't want kids. I feel like when a man tells you something, because normally they lie all the time, when they're real up and up, like direct and upfront about something, you should listen. You should listen. When a man say, you shouldn't mess with me. I'm not a good guy. Believe him. Don't be like, oh, no, you're good. Don't try to convince him. He told you. He told you. Like when he say he don't want kids or he don't want to be married, you got to listen. Hated that part. Oh, you forgot the burp. She said, not right now. Not right now. Like, I need you to be compassionate. I say, get him, girl. Get him again. Get him again. Downtown's girl also said pregnancy itself can be dangerous, especially a lot of medical treatments are incompatible with pregnancy, and pregnancy can be rough on the body for any woman. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like every pregnancy could be fatal. Like it's so crazy that unless you're a woman or are friends with women who have had children or with people who have had, who have given birth, you don't know how deadly a pregnancy can actually be. And no matter how healthy you are, you really don't. A wreck. That scene broke me. I was like, oh my God. And that hug, I was like, oh my God. Whoo. That was a lot. But again, thank you, Amber, for sharing that, because I could see in the hashtag that there were so many women who were thanking her for sharing that, and just because it was just real. It was real. That woman bawled all the way to the healthcare center, and then she bawled leaving, and then she was bawling at her confessional. What about that looks easy? And then she bawled when she met with Puppy later. Like, child, she probably couldn't even watch that. She probably could not even watch the season finale. Miss GG88 said, wait, Nikki, that was Destiny vaping while in false labor. It was Amber too. It was when Amber was driving to North Carolina. Like, I understood, but I was like, I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let me be wrong in that. Dr. M said, vaping while pregnant, it's very hard to not to be judgmental, especially when the patient comes in and is telling you what's wrong and they are clearly doing the wrong thing. I always have CPS and 911 on hand. You gotta do. A lot of kids are not in safe environments. Two, also, we always have to be very observant and be able to read between the lines when listening to people. Very true. Very true. So I've heard. And my mom had me in the house. I was like, how the hell did you do? Girl, thank God we still here. Miss Gigi said, I don't think TC was okay with the abortion, but she convinced him that she had no choice. Remember the comments he made about Puppy wanting the abortion and then finding out she ended up having a miscarriage. See, what I got from that was that other people can't have abortions, right? But when it's concerning him, that's what I got from that. Because I was just like, you're okay with her, but not Puppy. Seems right on brand. Right on brand. Let me get 3 more and then let me get out of here, because I have to go somewhere and get a little treat, and I will show you tomorrow. I'll show you tomorrow. This T said, TC does seem very disconnected. I definitely think he has a problem with his emotions. When men say that, for me, it might not be that for anybody else. Y'all might have a different experience, but red flag for me. Oh, I can't show my emotions. What's that supposed to mean? Because I'm breaking down right now. So, what does that? I don't know. Is it you can show emotions, or you don't care to the extent that I care, or you don't care at all? And the excuse is, oh, I have a tough time showing emotion, because you can't show emotion to this because you're just not emotionally connected to that and don't care. I'm just, Amber, I see something. And I grew extremely close to you on the season finale. Like, you had my heart that whole episode. So now I'm protective. Now I'm protective over a stranger. And I just, there has to be, she loved a white supremacist looking man. I just don't understand the type of men that she dates, and then her friends group. I'm like, how does this work? Anyway, Sarah said, my mother was a cigarette addict when she got pregnant with me and stopped immediately, cold turkey. I got beef with her, but I respect her for that at least. Oh, moms are great. Moms are great. I love her roommate. I would love to see more of her roommate. I really, really do. I really, really do. Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I'll show you tomorrow because I'm gonna be not lit, but I'm gonna be mad excited because I've been. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you all so much for joining me. We're playing catch up still, but we do have. I'm going to be current this week with a lot of our shows. I also, did you guys know that they were dropping Love is Blind today? Did you know that? The only reason why I found out about it because one of my friends is watching it now, and I'm like, they dropped the current season of Love is Blind, so I got to jump in to that. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. I got some quick videos about some topics. I'm also working on my housewife, the Real Housewives of New York, that deep dive. So expect a lot of content for the next few days on here because we have so much stuff going on. Listen, Shavetta, we got to talk about felony dating game. Because after that stuff with Doug, I was like, and this is the thing. The killers are interesting. That's the thing. The petty theft guys are just not as interesting. You guys know when I do the felon game and it's not murderers, y'all not interested. So I don't know. I feel like this Friday may be the end of that again. We may retire it again. Because the stuff with Doug, I was just like, absolutely not. I'm not going to be life after lockup and putting my audience, introducing my audience to these unhealthy people. So I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna try to find a way to do it where I feel comfortable again. But I don't know. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Tracy says, Star Family, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, Nikki.Star at Home. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you, Drewski. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. Oh, have a great night. I forgot you guys are on. I keep on forgetting that I'm on the West Coast. So, Steph, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. Anyway, it absolutely does. And I cannot wait to get into it with you guys on Friday. Shout out to the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Love you so much, Star Family. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. Make sure you join me on my second channel. I'll be posting something there tomorrow, and I will see you all soon. Probably for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It depends on how the episode rolls out, because I might do a joint review with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But if I just have so much to talk about with Beverly Hills, I think I might do that separate. We will see. Love y'all. See you soon. Bye. Mwah. Ooh, that Doug video was so uncomfortable. Like